To which my friend protested and came up and said, hey, do you know that you're pissing on the side of the house? And I said, well, at least it's not in my pants. A little
It
boy.
just is like your 60-foot stature with your hair and your glasses.
But you're gonorrhea knee. You're gonorrhea knee. Yeah, I start pissing and shitting everywhere. I'm terrible to take out.
This is a nice first date.
Happy Dapper Day, everybody.
Woo!
Welcome back to the show.
It's episode 11.
It is a pleasure to be here with everybody. It's Fast Finger Slim.
And Drama. And we're back. Thanks for listening to that 2-hour podcast.
Yeah, if you made
movies.
it through the 2-hour one, good for you. That's a marathon. Because like when I pull up movies on the Fire Stick that are 2 hours, I'm like,
Yeah,
because it shows me what time it's going to be done.
Oh yeah,
I'm
that's the word. That definitely stops me from watching shit because I'll be like, oh yeah, I'll jump into this, and then when it's like it won't end until 10:30, I'm like, well, gonna need to get to bed before that, so we'll never watch this.
Really quick on the Fire Stick thing, I wanted to mention to you, I looked for that movie Found that you recommended to me, and the first like 70 choices on the Fire Stick are not found.
Really? Mine was.
See, it turns out there's another movie called Found that's about like the little girl beauty pageants.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
And because so that movie starts, it's like a scene with a girl getting her hair done by her mom, and she's like, you've got to be perfect out there, you've got to make mommy proud. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be like some weird fucked up, like, because I saw the thing I saw it was about a kid, and so I'm like, oh, this will make sense. But then the subtitles for the real movie started over the beginning of the other movie.
Oh yeah, then it's way different.
And it's the scene where the kid's talking about finding the head in his brother's closet, and it's just these little girls being like, I'm gonna kill it out there today. No, you won't. And then like they did the cast list, and it was like Forrest Whitaker.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, there's some big names attached to this project. So after about 15 minutes, it was like your it was like your Void thing. No, not Void, the Split thing.
Yeah, Split.
And
I watched the whole movie though.
Yeah, I watched about 5 minutes, and I was like, this is not a horror
we need
movie.
some better fucking quality control on the Fire Sticks.
Kidding. I mean, give us better quality for free shit, Cody.
Yeah, it takes a lot of work anyway. We can't get into movies.
No, not again. We're done on movies.
We're back. We're less topical. We're gonna get into some user submissions and general stuff. Off top, be sure to check out our website, www.thedapperdads.com. And if you want to get in touch with us, there's a submission directly from the website, which is where we got one of our submissions. You can also reach us at dapperdadspodcast@gmail.com, which is where we got one of our submissions.
Yep.
And then the good old phone number, 402-7-DAPPER. That's 402-732-7737. We got 2 voicemails on there that
this
we're
is going to be
into.
This is going to be fun.
It's going to be nice. But yeah, so how's life been in the past week?
It's... Man, if we were talking before the show about recording the stuff we talk about in the pre-show and then selling it for a subscription online.
Yeah, it's a little different.
Yeah, it's the candid stuff where we take off the personalities that we have on the show and just be like, well,
we strip it all down.
We joke about how life is dark, but really it's dark when you get really for the premium stuff. And it's we just always say it's been a week, and it's just always been a fucking week.
It's always been a week.
So what's great is like you'll hear us rant and just bitch for like 20 minutes, like cranky old men for 20 minutes before the show, and then we're like, welcome back to the show. It's the Dapper Happy Dapper Day, everybody.
Yeah, great time, right?
And then like it comes off again at the end, and we're like, fuck.
Yeah.
Start chain smoking and chugging beers right afterwards. This is so stressful putting out free entertainment for people.
Yeah, that's all I live for.
Man, it's it's been a week. Let's just put it that way. It's been a week. How's your week been, Drama? You've been a little under the weather this week. Every snap I've gotten from you has been like on the toilet with a cup of tea very close to your face looking angry.
Well, that makes it sound weird, but yeah, that's just my nighttime shit that I'm taking. But yeah, I've been sick. I was sick when we recorded last week. I stay sick. I get a cold, and then it transforms into just a cough that won't go away. I had bronchitis like 2 years ago, so I'm always terrified it's bronchitis. Like that.
Oh shit.
See, and it happens when I take a big breath. Or ear infections, because I get ear infections like a motherfucker, and I hate them.
And worse than walking around with an ear block.
And they just don't do shit. So like, I've been sick. I'm feeling all right now. If you have any remedies, I'll probably be sick next week too. So. And
you got to be better by tomorrow, because you'll miss it on this week's show. But when this one airs, we will have gone to Chicago for the Dapper Dad Day.
Yes, which is
the previous Saturday.
Tomorrow. As of the recording, we're recording this on Friday the 13th.
Yup. So happy Friday the 13th, everybody.
Again,
hope nothing too fucked
up.
Hope you
didn't die.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll probably still be sick because I'm probably gonna go too hard tomorrow and create.
Oh, we're gonna go hard as hell tomorrow. It's gonna be a very dapper day.
And then a fun event last night. I went to the dentist. As I've alluded to, I have a tooth that needs to be pulled. That was hurting a bunch last month. It was a month ago, but it hurts all the time. It's like completely broken. And I had some fillings to get. I've never had fillings before.
Oh, it's a treat.
Yeah, I thought it was different.
What did you think it was?
Just pretty chill. I don't know how to explain
what
it.
What on earth made you think it would be chill?
I don't know. I've been going to the dentist. Look, if you don't go to the dentist, just go. It's way better to like keep up on it
than to deal with the shit later down the road.
Like a decade and then try.
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm doing right now, and I'm good about it. I've gotten my teeth fixed somewhat, and I've had so much shit. Like just the cleaning had to be such a deep fucking cleaning that I'm like, this has got to be some of the worst pain. Like I assume
because your teeth, it just hurts all day after that.
Yeah, and they fucking dig in there. You're like, oh, they probably don't need to go like all the way in between my teeth to the bottom of my gums.
And they do.
And yeah, they really get in there. So it's all gotten better, and I'm like, yeah, fillings are probably like chill compared to what I've had. And the like extraction, I talked to the lady on the phone, and she's like, do you want like gas or do you want to be sedated? I'm like, I don't want to be like knocked out because it fucking scares me, like going to sleep and then having things done. You would prefer to be sedated. Yeah, I'd prefer to be sedated but not asleep because I feel like I won't wake up. It's my fear.
That's what I hope for. That's why
I know,
ask
but
for
then
sedation
then
time.
Sometimes I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should have just had it. So my dentist is great. I gotta give them their props, but they're bad at explaining things. Mm-hmm. So they're just like, yeah, we're all on the same page, right? We all went to medical school for this. So I go, couple fillings, and my tooth taken out, all on the left side. I get back there. They're like, everything's cool. They're like, what do you want to watch on TV? They have a TV.
Yeah.
So I like go through. It was 6:30, so I usually get there around 7, so I'll turn on King of the Hill or something.
Right.
You don't really get to watch it because you're getting your face drilled, and they're like always obstructing the view.
And they're always trying to talk to you.
Yeah, and I'm like, why don't we put the TV in a better spot? And they always assume I want to watch sports right away, and I'm like, no, I don't. So I'm flipping through, and the only thing I could land on, because I was under the pressure and didn't want to just sit there and flip through, was Space Jam. Which I don't know if my dentist had never seen before, but he's an older man, and he was so into it at points. Like when they're doing the shit, he's like turning around and laughing at jokes, and I'm like, hey, can we like be 100%?
Can we focus on the main event here?
While you're doing like your fingers?
Well, you have a drill next to my face. Can you stop laughing at Bill Murray?
Yeah. So, so they get to it. They like numb me up, shots in your gums, whatever, and then they're fucking filling and just, I guess, drilling into my teeth, which again was not prepared for. Yeah. Didn't understand that's what happened. And then I'm fucking feeling it. And I swear to God, it had to be like 20 shots. Like they just kept going. Mm-hmm. And he's like, you still feeling it? And I'm like, yeah, one specific tooth. And then it got to the point where I think they had just given me so much that he was like, we're just going to buckle down and we're just going to get through it. So I could feel it, and I'm like kicking the seat, and you could tell he's so just like bad. He's probably really close to getting it to where they can fill it and whatever.
Right.
So he doesn't want to keep numbing me because it takes like 5 to 10 minutes for it to kick in.
Yeah.
So we're all just sitting there watching Space Jam, and fucking. So he just goes to town on it, and I'm having like borderline panic attack because I'm like,
because it hurts so
also bad. The thing I never understand, they put the thing in your mouth so you can't close your mouth, and then you're just like perpetually choking because you can't swallow, and they're like spraying water in the back of your throat, and you're like, this is torture.
This is why people don't go to the dentist.
I know, sorry to paint such a picture. Go to your dentist, but hope this doesn't happen. And yeah, I'm like, then I'm thinking they're gonna, because they fucking have the blood pressure thing on my arm, the thing on my finger, which makes it feel like they're worried I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
And then they keep numbing me. Like, I can't feel shit except just pain still. But my whole fucking mouth looks like I had a stroke. And then I'm like, I don't want them to even take the tooth out anymore. Like, something further needs to happen.
Yeah.
But every time I go to the doctor, I have a fear that they're going to be like, we have to do this. And we're not going to listen to you. And we're going to do it. And I'm not going to have the chance to be like, no, please don't. And then it's just going to be crazy. And they're going to kill me. I don't know why. It's an irrational fear. But I'm like, because I hear him like he's gonna have to be sedated, and I thought it was just gonna sneak up on me and they're gonna sedate me somehow, like
That
a
would've been
fucking
nice.
bear or something.
That's how I hope to be sedated.
But then I was like, I don't want to be sedated. I'm too in my head right now. I'd rather be sedated earlier. After now, I know all the pain, and I'm
right,
like,
because now if you get passed out while you're in this like badass headspace,
yeah,
like
I
you're
know.
just gonna
I had a
like,
headache.
freak
and
out
I
while
was,
you're underneath.
Yeah, I'm freaking out, and I'm like, don't do it. And then I was like, they finally stopped for a second. I was like, can we wait on the extraction? And he's like, oh yeah, we need to get you like sedated and much more comfortable. And I was like, all right, good. But it was a fucking nightmare. And then they always have to talk to you afterwards. I've had like 20 shots in my.
So you're talking like mush mouth.
Yeah, blah. And like my whole like right side of my fucking lips are just like drooping down like a cartoon dog. And I'm like, fuck this. And then they're like, when do you want to set up the appointment? And I'm like, can we put it off as far as possible?
Like, can we just wait forever?
I just don't want to. Yeah, like the tooth that's broken doesn't hurt enough to justify, because they started to do it. I don't know what the fuck it was, but it was this tool that they like put around my teeth. And he was like standing up and applying the pressure. Because first he poked it a bunch and he was like, you should feel like a poke, but it shouldn't be sharp. It should just be dull. Which is what I felt. So I'm like, all right, cool, let's fucking do it. I thought you would just rip the tooth out and it would, but he's like standing up and putting pressure on it like he's trying to like get a shovel into the ground. And I'm like, I fucking feel it.
There was my dad had an impacted wisdom tooth where it was growing completely sideways against his other teeth.
Yeah.
And he said that when he went to pull it out, the guy put his foot on the edge of the chair and was pulling back, trying to get this tooth
looked
out.
Like where it was going to
yanking
go.
his
And
neck.
I was like kicking and squirming like a bitch. Yeah, my wisdom teeth, they showed me the x-rays, are doing that shit where they grow on sideways. That's down the road. I hope
God.
I'm dead before it happens. Because, yeah, now they want to take 2 teeth out and do all the basically they're going to knock me out and just run to town on my mouth.
Bro, I had all 4 of my wisdom teeth taken out when I was a teenager.
I've heard it's bad.
It was not a terrible nightmare because they completely put me under for it. But what happened was they went to go put me under, like, this is going to knock you out quick. And I was like, yeah, sure thing. And I was like a young teenager. I can't remember exactly how old I was, but I had a guitar on my shirt and they were like, oh, so you like playing guitar? Who do you like? And I was like, yeah, I listen to and like everything just kind of spiraled out.
Yeah.
And then I don't remember anything. And then I heard this weird voice in my head and it was saying the craziest shit to me.
No,
it was
this
saying
is
the
why I don't want to be
craziest
sedated.
shit. It was talking about like gore and conspiracy theories and all this
It was
other shit.
Alex Jones.
It was me talking to the nurse and I was
God.
coming out
I know.
of it.
That's the thing is 2 things. I've been put on, I had a surgery on my nose like we touched about. Episode 3, go listen to it. It's fucking terrible.
Go
and
back, watch this
disgusting.
chronologically.
But yeah, I got put out and it was the same thing where they're like, count back from 100. And the doctor just kept going, listen to Nurse Jackie and drift away with her. Listen to Nurse Jackie and drift away with her. And it was weird. And then right before I'm going out, this lady goes, are you, and it says my dad's name, are you his son? And I'm like, I don't need this right now. And she's like, oh, it's fine. We're old like dinosaurs. And then I black out and then I wake up throwing up blood everywhere. So that's my experience. And then I forgot the second thing.
For good reason. You probably blocked it out at this point. Jesus Christ.
What did you just say? I had another point to make.
I don't know. But when I came to, I like was so shocked that was my voice. I sat up and I was like,
Oh,
Miss,
yeah, that's
I was like,
what it is.
Miss, if I said anything inappropriate, you got to forgive me. I don't know who that was. And she was
know.
like, no, you're fine. You were just talking about like your favorite scary movies. And I was like, no, you don't understand. If I said some bad shit, you can tell me. And she was like, no, you're fine.
And then she killed herself because she couldn't live with the knowledge.
Cut her own face off after Fast Finger Slim's
She's like,
forbidden
no, you're fine.
knowledge.
Turns around and slits her throat very carefully to not alarm you.
Like cuts it right here and then just like pulls
Yeah.
it open.
Yeah, I don't want to have that shit because you see all the videos where people say the crazy shit. I know the things that are in my head that I don't say out loud
And I'm
are going
worried
to
they're gonna
sneak
come
out,
out.
and I'm going to be like, where's that fucking nurse bitch? Let me suck on her titties. Or something like bad that I don't even truly mean, I don't think.
Mama, you thicker than a Snickers in a bowl of oatmeal.
Yeah. Or like, have you seen the viral one that's recent where the guy's like, show me your tits?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be me.
That's going to be me.
And
as
then I'm
well.
also going to be like, I'm so sorry, ma'am. I respect you. But
know.
if you'd like to show me them tits, like, we could get into this.
If that personality struck you as interesting, we can roll with it. But if not, I do promptly apologize and we'll send an assorted fruit nut basket to your house this Christmas.
Yeah, I'm terrified of the things my, like, unconscious mind will like blurt out. It will be bad because I keep a lot of shit in here.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Pay for Dapper Dads After Dark.
Yeah, pay for Dapper Dads After Dark $40,000 a year.
Yeah, that's how serious it is.
Man, I just got secrets. I don't want people knowing unless it's for an extreme amount of cash. That's all I'm saying. If you want my secrets, you got to pay me for it.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'll give you all the funny shit you want to hear out of my mouth, but if you want to get the real shit, you got to pay.
Yeah, you owe me something.
I'll do it for money.
Yeah. All right, you want to get into these fucking illustrious submissions?
Yes, because there's some. These are gonna spark some good conversation. So let's go ahead and get in these. We're doing voicemails first.
Yeah, voicemails first.
Okay,
it's the most exciting to me. This is the very first voicemail we've ever got.
Just to preface this a little bit, we were recording the show last week, the horror movie episode, and after the show we checked and we were like, oh, someone called us while we were recording the show. Yeah. How cool is that?
Yep.
And we listened to it. And do you have it pulled up?
Yep.
Okay, this is what we heard.
This is what we got. The first voicemail ever.
The first Dapper Dads voicemail.
Beautiful.
This is it. Brace yourselves.
Here we go.
Once upon a time, not long ago, I was a hoe. And I'm admitting it, I won't take it back. Cause I did the shit, I was a hoe. And I'm admitting it, I won't take it back. Cause I did the shit, I was a hoe. More money, I want some money. I want more money, I want some money. More money, I want some money. I want more money, I want some money.
That I don't even know what to say about it. I mean, it sounds like DJ Mustard production, if that helps. Because
I had never heard that song before.
No, neither. I didn't even know that song existed. That is, do we have the name and artist for that song?
I'm pulling it up.
We'll pull it up, but I know it's from like 2007, 2008, so it's that pre-2010.
I don't think it was that old.
No, it was that. It said that on the video when we looked it up.
I'm pulling it up right now.
Pull it up, get some info. But
2015.
Really?
Motherfucker.
Well, it sounds like 2007.
It's Mariah Linn, Once Upon a Time. Then in parentheses, I was a hoe. Of course.
And it's got to be such a slapper. That's the problem with it.
And it prompted us to watch the video, which is like a movie, and it takes a long time. And it's like a beautiful scene.
It's like an episode of Empire, really.
Yeah, it's a beautiful scene of like this fucking nice table dinner, and the guy proposes, and then that's the girl, and she goes, I have something to tell you. And then it's this whole song about being a hoe.
About fucking dudes.
About fucking a lot of dudes.
Which is fine, because there's songs out there about dudes fucking a lot of girls, so you can keep the standard.
Yeah, we don't slut shame. I was just taken aback. And yeah, I like to think that I've heard a lot of rap songs.
Yeah,
I'm pretty well versed in the genre.
Right.
I have never heard Mariah Linn.
Never heard of. And how many views does that have? Is that like 15 million or something?
It's at like 4.5 million.
It's insane.
It's a lot. Yeah.
That's more than we'll ever get in the entire life of this show. Combined.
Yeah. And yeah, so that was definitely whoever the fuck did that. Shout out to you.
Yeah.
I like to think you were just driving down the street and you were like, oh yeah, this song, we'll call that number. Or maybe it was more premeditated, which is even better.
I like the idea of a premeditated song about being hoes sent to us.
Yeah, we respect it. And
are you trying to send us a message?
Yeah.
Are you trying to tell us that you used to be a hoe?
Are you saying, that you were a hoe?
And now you're not?
Now you're not. That you're currently a hoe and you'd like help getting out of your hoism?
If you would like help.
Or are you implying that we're hoes?
Either one, we would like to know. So please call us back and give us some information about
follow up. We'd love a follow up.
I would love follow up because this is like the vague shit that starts in horror movies. I was really hoping for a voicemail just being like sketchy static sounds and being like, "We're coming for you, drama and Fast Finger Slim."
Now we're definitely gonna get that.
Oh, I hope we do. I really want to fear for my life because of this public phone number.
Yeah, it's definitely it's gonna get crazy. This is the first two, and speaking of that, here is the second one.
Hey, Dapper Dads, I really have a strong inkling that you should probably talk about that saggy tits dog that you just got. It's a sweet dog, but it's got some really nasty titties, and that could be an awesome topic of conversation.
Yeah, so that's a little inside baseball. I think I might know who that was, and I think they had a couple of beers. I keep forgetting to bring it up, but I got a dog.
You sent me pictures.
Congratulations. Beautiful. It's a pit bull terrier. She's 3 years old. She's very sweet and loving, and she had puppies. So when I acquired her, she had quite saggy breasts, like very much so. I saw her in the cage, and we were looking around, and I was like, oh, that one was like chill. I wanted like a very chill dog. I don't need a puppy. I live a certain type of life that needs a more laid back dog.
Right.
So this one wasn't like getting crazy or anything. I'm like, let's see this one. The dog comes in. Very sweet, just happy to be pet, not like jumping, not doing anything. But she had been laying down in the cage, and then when she was brought in, I was instantly like, holy shit. Like when I'm talking about saggy
Like
teats,
I'm gonna see these tomorrow.
yeah, well, they've gotten better
But-
and that's what they said. They'll come up, so you'll
Right.
see them, and you'll probably be
But, like,
wow.
not as extreme.
But what I'm talking, like the back ones, the furthest ones back, good, like 5-6 inches. Like,
Really?
when she would
They would
walk,
sway
they would
side-
they still sway a
Oh,
little bit
poor
back and
girl.
forth. But these things would like slap her sides because they were so long, and we were like, "Is that gonna get better?" And they're like, "Yeah."
What I find most upsetting about this whole thing is that the person in the voicemail wanted us to focus on the dog titties. Like that was like the focus of their voicemail.
Yeah, because he's seen them and he was like, wow, as everyone was. Like, we took the dog to like PetSmart or Pet whatever.
And they're
the
just
fuck.
swinging around.
Yeah, and the day I got her, we went and like we're getting, all the necessities for having a dog, and people were like, "Oh," and then I had seen people just look and be like, "Holy shit," and like walk away laughing. Like they were intense.
Man, somebody laughing at my dog, I'll beat your ass. You laugh at my cat and a pet smart, I will fight you.
I mean, if you saw these, you can't even be mad, because if I had seen those, I would have been like, "Holy shit!"
I'm just waiting.
Be like Deuce Bigelow when the like reoccurring thing is like, "That's a huge bitch."
That's a huge bitch.
But they're like, "Those are huge tits." Like,
I would love it more if somebody was like, "Put a bra on that dog."
yeah, it's just a lot of screaming. And yeah, they've already gotten better.
Good.
And she's fantastic. Her name was Violet. It's changed to Nellie, Nellie, not to be confused with the alleged
Whom
rapist.
we don't condone
Yeah,
on
Nelly.
the Dapper Dads.
Who would have guessed that Nellie is weird?
Who would have thunk it?
Who's at a fucking Nelly concert? Anyway, so yeah, that's about that. We don't have like an hour and
We
a
don't
half
have like an hour to talk
tit
about
material.
Yeah, like I mean, it's just, I can't wait to meet your dog tomorrow. She sounds like a real sweetheart.
Yeah, she is a sweetheart. She's a fucking great dog. It's surprising, but yeah, and like the teats are getting hairier and tighter, so
Good.
it's already getting better. The best part about that was once I got her home, I'm like, well, I wonder how serious this is gonna get. So I looked on like a dog forum. Mm-hmm. And the word bitch is about a female dog.
Right.
These guys, I think they're taking some liberties with it. Because if you read the forum, they're like, man, those puppies ruined my bitch tits.
That's okay.
And I was just reading it and laughing at it. And they're like, well, how old is your bitch? And they're like, I heard if you take that bitch swimming, she'll get better. And I'm like, you guys are really using this? Because it's a free pass.
Like a little kid that their mom's like, okay, you can say crap, but I don't want to hear any
and
other
he's like,
swears.
oh, crap, I'm the crap.
Oh, crap. What is this crap, Mom? This is crap.
Yeah, it's very much grown men like, well, we can use it, and if anyone comes at us, we're going to be like, that's the literal definition for it is bitch. They were like, and then I'm like, you're just a bunch of grown men saying things like,
You just got
what food are you giving that bitch? Go look up.
Like it's a DMX album transcribed or something.
Yeah, go look up these fucking forums. They're
No, I
straight
do
to
not want to read
disgusting.
weird, disgusting dog forums.
Next episode, we're just gonna read it. That's
Transcriptions
give
of
us
dog
Give
forums.
us money and get the uncensored Dapper Dads read dog breast forums. I don't think that's what they're called, but who knows?
Yeah, let's make that the first episode of the Dapper Dads After Dark.
It'll get dark, yeah.
Oh, Christ.
So yeah, those are the voicemails. Once again, if you'd like to be one of those voicemails and give us a hot ass topic, it's 4027 Dapper. We'll play it on the air like you just fucking heard. Unless it's just too crazy. So
No,
see
I
how
mean,
crazy it can get.
Like if you
there's some things I won't play.
no, like if you call and leave,
You're like the body's located at 1215
Do not call
14th Street.
do not call and confess your
to that.
crimes.
Don't go to that.
Yeah, don't go there. Especially, we'll just beat that part out.
That's where the body is.
That's where the baby is.
All right, and then our first email submission ever came in, and it is we'll read it verbatim minus the name. We won't put you on blast, but we have all your information.
Yeah, just know that when you send us stuff, even if you put like a handle on it, if your name is connected to your email address, we do get it.
Yeah,
So,
I
like,
mean, we just
if
get
you-
your email address.
Right, so like if you send us stuff that's like the Dapper Dads are bitches and not like that weird dog forum, we're gonna be like, okay, so and so, we'll put your full government name on the air. Don't think we're scared of you.
And sometimes when I'm really drunk, I just go through my phone and find people not in my contacts that I can contact somehow in a fun way.
Exactly.
So, I mean, I've called from so many people's random phones to other people.
Fuck with the dads, and we will fuck with you.
Yeah. So this is the first email. It reads, "Hey all, do you think you could talk about Bo Burnham for your next episode? It'd be pretty cool. Thanks, signed Fam Dude."
I don't want to talk about Bo Burnham like at all. I just, oh God, okay.
Yeah, I feel like you take a stronger stance on this.
I don't.
do.
It's not that it's a stronger stance. It's just that I see where he's funny and I get his demographic, but that demographic is not me. So like I can't because like the guy's clearly a successful entertainer.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, he's got stuff on Netflix. He's got CDs. He's more successful than we are. So it's not like I can shit on the guy's brand or his success. You know, but it's like. For me personally, it just doesn't do anything. It's like, it's okay. Think of it like this. There's like fandoms and TV shows where like you hear about it and you're like, okay, I can really appreciate that and I appreciate what it is, but it just doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be out here screaming fuck Bo Burnham or anything like that. Cause like, I don't hate the guy.
Yeah.
But like when I see the vines and stuff, I'm like, oh, okay. It's another 6-second pun that he's doing, you know, it's like most of his stuff is just him doing stuff with a piano and like puns. And it's like, okay.
I like what I've seen to an extent. It's just so fucking spastic that it drives me crazy to like sit down and watch a long form version of it.
Because like I think it's been established that you and I both have some kind of attention disorder where we can't focus on stuff. Yeah. And it's like when something like it's either got to be spastic enough that I can keep up with it, or it's either too spastic and it's too much for me to keep up with. And that I agree with that. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, that's how I feel because I'll be like getting into it and then it's just like a song and like craziness and I'm like, this is overstimulating. There was one joke I'm pretty sure it's him I specifically remember where he's like I felt like this today when I woke up, and he like moves the stool around a bunch and he's like uncontrollable stools, and I was like, that's a good one.
The one I really liked is where he had the keyboard and he's like, is there anything better than pussy? Yeah, a really good book.
Yeah, see, it's shit like that.
Yeah,
where like it literally only works because it's him in that environment,
right? And it works on that certain level.
Yeah, because when you said it right now, it's like, oh yeah, it's funny because I vaguely remember.
It's funny, but
like, if you did it to your friends, then you're just the weird guy who eventually isn't in the circle of friends anymore.
I feel like Bo Burnham could be the weird guy in a circle of friends.
Oh yeah, he is like very niche and like happened to like get a good audience. Otherwise, he was probably like those kids in high school that were like that, where you're just like, you are a lot to unpack. Yeah. And I don't know even where to begin with you.
There's a lot to unpack here.
Yeah, there's too much. You're too like crazy.
That's Bo Burnham. Bo Burnham is too much and too crazy.
He turned it into something that works. And like I said, I don't mind it. And I have so many people who are like, watch it. And I get into it and it just, it gets too wild.
I feel the same way about Bo Burnham. Do you remember Demetri Martin at all?
Yeah. I feel the same way.
He was a very specific niche of comedy that you had to appreciate.
Yeah, and I feel like there's that's a slim
That's a slim one.
Wow, we've been getting the tables are gonna turn and you'll just become the burper and I'll just be like I'll just die. Anyway.
That's a good way for this show to go.
But yeah, it would be cool. Like, who are your favorite comedians? Because I know you've dabbled in stand-up comedy.
I remember you came to see. There should be some old Instagram pics of me doing stand-up on your Instagram. Actually,
way back.
It was a fun little venture for a while. It wasn't something where
I've always been interested in that, and I've gotten on stage for other things, and I have like crippling like stage fright.
Same,
but depending on certain things, you can plow through it if you care about it enough. I've always wanted to like do stand-up comedy, but I just don't have the balls to get up there.
I kind of renounce my stand-up days because I feel like the stuff I was talking about back then is the stuff that it's not the stuff that I think is very funny now. And like if you know me and you like look it up, you can find it out there. There's videos of it, but I really just kind of stay away from it because it's like that doesn't really reflect who I am. But it's like a lot of these are on like YouTube channels that aren't active anymore. Yeah. So it's like I can't message people and be like, hey, can you take this down?
Yeah.
You know?
And that's what happens when you put yourself out there like that.
And it does
I'm sure in a couple of years we're going to renounce all of this.
Oh, no. Like we're going to be like,
things.
Yeah, no, I've said some things on here that like probably like in 6 months I'm going to be like, yeah, don't listen to those early episodes. There's some things.
Yeah, when we turn into like a very straight formal.
Like an NPR style talk show.
Oh, God. You've got the voice for it. You'll just replace me.
Man, do you know how fun it would be to like actually be like a news person? Like not a news personality, but like a talk show host personality like that, and just be on the show every day and be like
a very quaint voice.
And today here in the studio, we've got musician Kwaku Collins here with us, and he's going to be doing a live reading from his newest poetry book. Check it out. It's going to be released on October 28th.
You know, when I was at Pitchfork, actually, I was sitting on the lawn, and I happened to turn around and see him doing poetry. I was going to say pornography, which would have been a way different Pitchfork experience.
I remember I was drinking a sensible kombucha at Pitchfork, and I was listening to Kwaku Collins's Oasis 2 Maps cover, which, if you're unfamiliar, is just a cover of Maps by the Yeah Yeah Yeahs, but it's his own version of it. It's really just a fantastic retelling. Yeah. It's I just had a beautiful moment where I was tripping off DMT and sipping a kombucha while Kwaku Collins was playing, and I became one with the universe and one with myself, really.
What? They don't love you like I love you. What? They don't love you like I love you. They don't love you like I love you.
I would like to do this, like my own podcast where I do that, but I just tell my shitty stories where I'm like, so yeah, it was a nice summer day and I was outside. I was covered in sweat drinking a warm straw burrito that later led to a violent vomit session in the hotel bathroom before I ate some truffle fries that were very magnificent.
I stumbled up to the
and
house.
That was the last time I drank straw burritos.
I stumbled up to the house after 17 and a half Smirnoff Ices and a couple of Swisher Sweets, and I stumbled up to the foyer, and I leaned out the window and unzipped myself and urinated all over the side of the house, to which my friend protested and came up and said, hey, do you know that you're pissing on the side of the house? And I said, well, at least it's not in my pants. And that's the story of how Fast Finger Slim got really drunk when he was like 19 years old and pissed on his house.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Fantastic.
Yeah, this will be our side podcast.
Oh, man.
And we read rap lyrics like this.
Oh. Fuck a meeting. We're about to have a sit down. Wrap your phone up in plastic and put it in the fridge. They know who we are, but they don't know what we did.
Beautiful. Tune in next week where we talk about the Amigos discography. Mama.
I just fucked your bitch in some Gucci flip-flops.
I just had some bitches and I made them lip lock.
Took a shot of Henny, and I've been going bracy.
I'm going to put my thumb in her butt.
$10 million cash. Fuck a friend.
I listened to that on the way here, and I had the windows down.
So good.
Like, I'm going to put my
thumb in her butt. Just cut that in again. Can we just,
yeah.
Yes.
It should be in every episode.
No. Oh, okay.
I'm gonna put my thumb in a butt.
But yeah, favorite comedians real quick.
Yeah, favorite, man. That got fun to it.
Yeah.
Okay, so favorite comedians. For me personally, if I had to pick a top three, it would be Sam Kinison, Louis Black, and Patton Oswalt for my top three.
That's a very organic three.
Well, for
like not organic, I guess, just different.
Eclectic.
Yeah, eclectic.
Well, the main theme running throughout is just self-hatred and nihilism.
Yeah.
Sam Kinison,
pretty much all comedians.
Sam Kinison was a huge influence on me as a stand-up comedian.
I can see that now. Yeah, I can see that now.
Just big and like
big and loud.
So basically, if you ever do have the unfortunates of looking up my old stand-up, I do want to go on the record to say I do still support everyone that I did stand-up comedy with, because if that's a dream that you have, like, really chase it. And there's been some local comedians that I've seen that are so goddamn funny.
Yeah,
and it's like
great.
And it's something. It's the comedy scene is a lot like the podcasting scene. It's like it's something where you have to be into it to really know what's going on in it, you know?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of talent out there. And we used to do shows at like bars and coffee shops, and there would be people who would come from like, the Chicago area. We would even have people who were on like touring circuits across the United States who would come and do shows with us. So I got to open for some names who have been on like the BET network and Comedy Central and stuff like that. And like, it's a real honor to open up for those people. But I feel so like cringy about it, because I know the shit I was doing at the time wasn't like worthy of what, like, I would feel like if I was to go out there and do it now, just with like the way I am on the show, I feel like I could do something. Yeah. But it's just something where I'm so nervous to just get back into it, because like with you, it's like we can sit here and we can have banter and we can go back and forth.
It's more comfortable.
When you're doing stand-up comedy, it's just you up there in front of the mic, and it's not like you're a musician who can hide behind a guitar.
Yeah, exactly.
Or like,
that's what I've always thought.
It's just you and a microphone with nothing in the back, and it's all on you to make those people entertained. And it's like, there was some stuff I did that was funny, but I can't really stand behind a lot of it. So if you knew me back then, I'm really sorry. Who I am now, it does not
slightly better.
Slightly better in certain ways, but some ways I'm still a piece of shit. Let's be real. But Sam Kinison, if you don't know who he is a fantastic comedian. My mom saw him live twice. Wow. She said the first time he just slayed. She laughed the entire time, pissing her pants laughing. The second time he was so high on coke that he was just laughing at his own jokes the whole time, and it wasn't where I want to be. But no, I was so into him. I used to like binge watch all of his specials. I watched the Wild Thing music video that he was in. I had like a weird VHS I bought from Family Video back in the day that was like 2 stand-up specials in the Wild Thing music video. But no, check him out if you ever get the chance. There's a couple of things on Netflix that you can check out. He's very loud. He's very eccentric. If you watch him, you'll be like, oh yeah, that's definitely where some of Slim's humor comes from.
Yeah.
Lewis Black, simply because I love good rant comedy. Like I love good angry comedy. The political stuff is not something that I really get into because I'm not a very political person, but he is someone who can make politics very funny. So like when I do listen to him go on about politics, it makes me laugh. Obviously some of the stuff is dated, you know? So like there's like a early special of his where he goes on about like Dan Quayle and stuff like that and like the Clintons, and you're like, I
doesn't age well.
Right. And it's like, but like the other stuff he does is so good. And like he just has like that angry reaction that I feel like I do when I get angry.
Yeah.
And it just works. And then Patton Oswalt is somebody whom I have a fantastic amount of respect for, just as a comedian, an entertainer, an actor, everything. Everything he's ever put out, whether it be a movie, he's been a role in a TV show. He's on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. If you didn't know that, he's on that Marvel TV show as an agent. And he's just fantastic with everything he does. And I think he's somebody who is very eccentric like we are, but he's somebody who's also very real and relatable at the same time. You know, I was really, really upset when his wife died.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And it's just one of those things that you always think is never going to happen to you, and then it does, you know. It's like he was happy, they had a family together, and she just passed away, you know. Yeah. And there was that really heartbreaking picture of him where he was sitting out with the Emmy, sitting outside the burger joint, and he just looked so rough. And it's like, you know, it just goes to show that like you can be like, it just goes to show that like depression and stuff like that doesn't always have a face. You know, you can be somebody who's seen as very funny and uplifting and happy and like still have all this crazy shit weighing you down all the time, you know? So like shout out Patton Oswalt. Like everything you've gone through and everything you've done has just been fantastic and an inspiration. And I remember the first time I actually heard his stand up, I was driving back from Fright Fest with a friend, and we had listened to just music the whole way there, and we were just listening to music. And I was just like, man, I'm kind of burned out on music right now. He's like, well, when I'm burned out, I usually play some stand up. You want to listen to some stand up? Yeah. And I was like, yeah, that sounds good. And he was like, throw on some Patton. And so I put on some Patton Oswalt, and I just died the whole way back. It was specifically, it was the bit where, if you've ever heard it, he's talking about on the 4th of July, it was like a huge series of events that happened. It was in his backyard, and there was like a rat the size of Danny DeVito in a rat costume that like crawled across a power line, and then a hawk came and got it and dropped it in the neighbor's yard and like freaked the kids out. And like he was like, it looked like Danny DeVito in a rat costume crawling around going, hey, hi, how are you? And like it was just the funniest goddamn thing I'd ever heard in my life. How about you? What would your favorite comedians be?
Number one is Dave Chappelle.
Oh,
Dave Chappelle changed my life.
Dave Chappelle.
I had the honor of seeing him host.
He's the GOAT of comedians.
Yeah,
Dave Chappelle.
For sure.
There's lots of great comedians out there, but in terms of timelessness and people that I hold close to my heart, Dave Chappelle is the king.
And so many people get shows from being a comedian and they don't hold up. And fucking Chappelle's show is life changing.
I have the DVDs at home. I can't let them go.
Series. It's so good. I don't even want to get into it. He's just great. Even his new stand-up specials were fucking phenomenal.
Oh, they were so funny. That one part where he's like, I look like Brother Johnson leading people to Malcolm X.
Yeah.
You guys would do that for me? Yeah, well, I don't like it either.
Yeah, he's definitely number one forever. I'd say Hannibal.
Hannibal Buress.
Love Hannibal Buress.
God bless you, Hannibal Buress. Seriously.
His stand-up. He has a great podcast.
So fucking funny.
God, he's incredible. He was one of the people that had a show on Comedy Central. The show was awful. It just doesn't work all the time with the formats.
Well, and it's like sometimes to me, just because you're good at stand-up doesn't mean you're good at writing for TV. Yeah. Because writing for TV and stand-up are two very, very different things. And you usually
have writers, and I've listened to his podcast where he talks about like what went wrong with the show, and it was kind of just like a big mess.
Well, it's like the Kroll show. I can't stand the Nick
Kroll
show.
Oh my God, that was one of the worst shows ever.
And it's like, I think Nick Kroll as a comedian is funny.
Yeah,
when you
he's
listen
funny
to
as
his
a comedian.
stuff.
On The League, he's great.
The League is fantastic. Show. He was what else did he do? He was the voice of the he was the douche in Sausage Party, if you didn't know that. And then he was also
Parks and Rec.
He was in Parks and Rec. He was. Do you know that movie, The Book of Life, that Guillermo del Toro produced.
I don't. Or yeah, I've heard of it, but I never watched it.
It's like a Mexican mythology movie, and like it's a really beautifully done movie. He plays one of the characters in that movie. I can't forget who it is though, but he has a voice in there, and I always get surprised when I see his voice work because he's so very good at doing like voices and accents and stuff. And I think that's what he tried to translate to on the TV show, but it just didn't work out as like a sketch comedy show. You know? And that's just my opinion. I know lots of people who love Nick Kroll and they love the show, but like, I'm the same way about
horrible.
See, but like, I can't stand Jim Jeffries. That's like a comedian I can't get behind.
Yeah, there's a lot of comedians I'm not a huge fan of. My last one, I don't have like a specific one, but 3 honorable mentions for my third. John Mulaney's fucking incredible.
Whom I'm seeing in February, by the way.
I'm jealous.
Oh, bro, it's gonna be. If I get to meet him, I will send you a picture.
He's so great.
He is so fun. His one special he has on Netflix where he's talking about the party as a teenager.
Yeah, that's great. But the Xanax story is possibly the greatest stand-up
because you can relate to that.
Ever fucking seen.
Because you lived that story.
And he had that terrible show, and that was the first time I heard of him, and I watched that show, and I was like, this fucking sucks. I hate this dude.
Yeah.
And then I happened to be on like Reddit or something. It was like, what's the funniest stand-up ever? And that was like the most upvoted one. I watched it, and I was crying. That fucking part is great. I also love Aziz. His first 2 stand-ups are incredible.
I'm not a fan of Aziz.
See, a lot of people tell me that. There's a trend where, like, even with Hannibal, his first 2 stand-ups, fucking incredible. The third one, and if there's been more, isn't that great. It's still funny, but it's not as good. Aziz's first 2, fucking incredible. His third one, I didn't care for.
Yeah.
The other person I love a lot, Nick Swartzen. That's the only like comedian I've seen live, like big name comedian. I saw him and he was fucking incredible live, and all his shit and just his life when I listen to him in interviews, how fucking crazy he gets is incredible and an inspiration. And yeah, I remember that was like one of the first comedians I got to as like a kid, because there was a part where like everyone used to like say it to me because it was funny and it worked with my life. I don't want to get into it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like it's kind of like a mixed bag there, but those are all great. But yeah, Dave Chappelle, it's a fucking guy.
Shout out Dave Chappelle. If you have for some reason, we love you, Dave. Please,
please stay out in the public.
I will extend this list. In case you didn't know, you have to be very exclusive to get on the Dapper Dads to be on the show. And we always say the only 2 people we'll ever have is Alex Jones and Jim Hitler.
Yeah,
but I will extend which
we're talking to Jim Hitler.
We're in contact with Jim Hitler. Someday
we'll get him down here.
We'll get him here. I would also extend that olive branch to Dave Chappelle.
Yeah,
if Dave
we are
Chappelle was
very elusive.
No, yeah,
but we will let you.
If somehow Dave Chappelle was,
we'll open up the door, Dave.
If I would do anything,
Dave, have your people call my people. My people are me.
Have your people call 402-7-DAPPER and get in contact with us.
Could you imagine if we just somehow got a Dave Chappelle voice?
Hey, this is
guys.
That was
not even horrible. Dave
wow, cut that out. Yeah, I don't want him to get offended by your
I'm sorry,
awful
Dave.
impression.
You fucking morphed my life. Please don't ever hate me.
Now I'm really worried somebody's gonna listen to this and like leave us a prank voicemail and be like, "Hey, I'm so and so representing Dave Chappelle. Could you give me a call back? We'd love to get Dave on the show."
Yeah, but shout out to Dave. Shout out to all those comedians out there grinding that motherfucking hustle.
I know some people who aren't into stand-up comedy, but like these people are worth a check out.
Nice. And then we'll get into our submission that was on the website. Also, if you submit anyway, let us know if you want us to use your name or leave us like a
yes,
because the submission on the website, it makes you put in a name, and I'm reading a name right now. And I don't know, I'm not going to say it out because I don't want to put people on blast, but just put it in there, like say my name.
Yeah, if just specify for us whether you would like us to use a screen name or a real name.
Yeah, because you can put in a fake name too. This person appears to have put in their full government name.
Yes, surprisingly.
And I love that too. You know me.
We love the full
put
government.
You on the list.
You get on the book 7 times.
But yeah, this is a submission. Wow, directly to the website. And it says, "Love your stories and podcast."
Fantastic.
Ooh, thank you. I just have a small question for you guys. What's the most you've done for a crush? It could be whether you guys had gotten the girl or not. I also like how it says you guys, like we went up against each other for a girl or with each other. Like we're a package deal, like stepbrothers.
Well, first of all,
I can help with the Pam.
First of all, if the dads are out together, we're absolutely a package deal. So don't think you can pick and choose. Like you get the full Dapper Dads experience when you're out with us.
Yeah.
Second of all, I like how they were respectful enough to imply that it was girls and not like, what were you, any guys you tried to
fucking
impress?
dudes were trying to suck off in that
Right.
parking lot behind the Taco Bell that one time.
Man, that person needs to leave us alone.
Yeah, we've gotten all your messages. Please,
We get it.
leave my family alone.
The kid doesn't even look like one of us. Please stop calling my
It
mother
looks
and
like
sister.
both of us.
Man, how awful would that be? Like a little
it
boy,
just is like your 60-foot stature with your hair and your glasses,
but
and
you're
then my
gonorrhea
huge
knee.
dick.
You're
Oh, yeah, the
gonorrhea
gonorrhea
knee,
knee.
and your fucked up teeth and just everything bad.
Yeah, it's just the best of both worlds.
Mine's like 60 feet tall with the haircut.
Yeah,
Like,
and it has a mixture of our tattoos.
No, it has both
when
of our tattoos.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It like runs up because we have tattoos in the same place. That would just.
but
be
then for some reason the phone number is tattooed on the kid's back as well, on
Of
his
course.
shoulders. It's like, man.
tattoo the phone number on your kid's back. Get a free $15 gift card to Burger King. It's a promotion we're running with Burger King. Thank you for sponsoring us. Burger King.
Tattoo your baby, get a $15.
Tattoo the phone number on your baby. Don't just tattoo your baby. That's fucked up. Tattoo the phone number on your baby. We got ourselves a deal. You can get so many Whoppers probably for $15. I haven't been to Burger
I mean, they
King.
got like a 2 for $6 right now. That's at least 4.
But yeah, so what's the most you've ever done for a crush?
Oh Lord, how do I? Man,
Bought her a house. I didn't. Yeah.
No, I've never bought anyone a house. I can't even afford my house. Much less.
We're swimming in debt.
I have a tendency of women, like, because it happens when you're with women. They're always like, you would never,
Bitches.
you would never cheat on me, would you? And I always go, a mistress on my salary. Come on, I can't even keep you.
One wife, one mistress, and a girlfriend. It's
So
too much.
I call them the 3 amigos.
Yeah. What's that fucking song where it's like, I seen 2 of my bitches in the club, and they know about each other.
Seen 2 of my bitches in the club, and I know they know about each other. I think these bitches trying to set me up. Maybe I'm just paranoid.
Remember that person we worked with who bought his wife a jacket and bought his mistress a jacket?
And they were the
showed up,
same
and
jacket?
same jacket, and they showed up at the same bar at the same time.
I feel like what happened was he heard that you're supposed to buy the same perfume for like your wife and your girlfriend, so like
Yeah.
it doesn't get confused. But instead he
That's
was
the
like,
Dapper Dad's tip.
instead he was like, jackets are jackets are more money. They'll like me more.
Yeah.
Blue, blue.
Could you just imagine like being out with your wife and being a scumbag who does this type of thing, and then your mistress walks in the same jacket? Got to be like, well, it's been nice. This is definitely it.
I think I remember him specifically saying too that he was like, the girlfriend told the wife that it was a nice jacket and wanted to know where she got it and
Yeah.
stuff. And
Oh,
it's like,
God.
can you imagine this? Like the stress you have to be
Oh
under
my
keeping
God, I
up that
know.
kind
And
of
he was
lie.
an elderly man.
Well, and that's my thing too, is that like I couldn't like cheat on anybody because it's so much
I
stress keeping up
know.
another life. Like, how on earth am I? Because like,
And I'm not good at keeping up with
I'm
lies.
not good at lying. Like,
I'm
when
just like,
when you start,
where were you at? Oh, I had a couple beers and then I went to Stephanie's
brother's house party.
bar. Stephanie's bar. You know Stephanie's bar. It's off of 7th. It's a good place. It was kind of dead, so we didn't stay there long. I fucked her.
No, when my thing is when I start getting caught up in a lie, I get really excited because I'm like, people are believing my bullshit and like the corners of my mouth start twitching because I want to laugh and be like, you're so stupid, you believe me, and then like it just it's a
I
dead
just get
giveaway.
too excited to tell everyone about my life. So I feel like if I did something shitty, I'd be like, God, I can't wait to tell my significant other
wait to
about
talk
how
about this on
awful
the
I was.
show.
Yeah, or something like that. Even in real life, I'm just like, oh yeah, I did this fun thing, and oh yeah, I shouldn't tell you.
No.
I couldn't. Yeah, I couldn't deal with this. I'm so stressed out as it is.
all the time. How am I,
I don't
supposed
have
to?
room for. That's what I just tell women at this point. I'm like, I'm too stressed out.
My stress
Call
cap.
the phone number.
My stress cap is already bubbling over like a tea kettle. It's like I can't add a whole nother life
whistling.
on top of that. Jesus.
just like I'm whistling at bitches. So what's the most you've ever done for a crush?
It's really hard to say because like there was one time I can't say I've ever done anything extravagant for a crush per
Yeah.
se, because I've never done like the whole like say anything outside with a radio. Like I've never done like anything super exquisite to like get a girl or to like impress a girl
But
with.
what song would you play on the radio if you were to say anything right now?
Stick Talk by Future.
Beautiful.
That's the only song I'm gonna play for a girl.
That would be so nice.
If Fast Finger Slim's pulling up outside your house with a stereo, you can probably bet it's gonna be a Future song. More than likely, I'm gonna have DS2 in the stereo. More than likely, I already have it on Stick Talk on repeat. So let's just assume I can't see the buttons to fix them in the dark, and I'm just playing whatever's on the stereo, and it's gonna be Future.
It's good solid choice.
So I don't know. I've actually done some. You might think I'm like a scumbag with some of the stuff that I say on the show, but I've actually done some really, really nice things for girls before. I remember one of the most like thought out things I ever did for a girl who totally didn't deserve it. I just want to throw that out
full
there.
Government name.
Oh, I would like give out the full government name if I wasn't afraid of, people coming, because like I don't even want to hear from this person anymore. So like the idea of them being like, heard you said my full government name on your radio show, I would be like, yeah, deal with it. People are gonna come to your house. I got shooters out here. Actually, fourth olive branch. Dave Chappelle, designer. If we could get designer on the show.
Designer, you're welcome.
Oh, designer, you're always welcome wherever the Dapper Dads are. And I would like it if you would extend the invitation and say that wherever designer is welcome, the Dapper Dads are also welcome.
I hope so.
But there was one. If you haven't guessed by now on the show, we're both very musical people. We love our music. We feel stuff through music that we love. And I made a girl a mix CD.
Oh, hell yeah.
And it was a very well thought out CD because I had a playlist of songs when I was with her would make me think about her. And so I made the CD, and then I made a booklet for it as well with the songs and explaining why I put those songs on the album. Yeah. And then I made a really cool box for the CD too. It was like one of those slipcover boxes that you get on like deluxe editions where it's cardboard, but I did like some cool calligraphy on the front with like gold Sharpies and like put some cool stuff on the box. So it was like this really nice gift that she could have and open. And this particular girl was, when we broke up, she basically said that she was with me because
big dick.
Bleep out part of this next part. She was with me because I was nice.
Herpes.
I was nice to her, and I with her.
Okay.
And that's why she was with me. But then she just kind
of bleep out the first part, right?
Yeah, right. So, and it just kind of kept snowballing, and a relationship happened, and she actually told me when we broke up, she was like, I never really found you attractive at all. You were just nice. And yeah, it was really rough. So like I felt like a really shitty person doing something really nice for somebody that was so shitty, because it's like I can think of like where I was with girls who were nicer, and I could have done something really nice for them like that for it, and it just fell on deaf ears. It's like something that wasn't appreciated as much as it would have been by somebody else.
Yeah, what a bitch.
Right? Tell me about it. And it's I've done that, and it's like I try to block out most of my past relationships because I think back on them and I'm like,
you don't like to think about the time they threw a hairdryer at you?
Man, I do not like to think about that time. Actually, I don't like to think about the time. Oh my god, bro, I had a girlfriend one time. So
this is gonna change face quick.
We were living together, and she wasn't from the area. She was in the area for school, and then she met me, and she just decided to stay, which terrible life decision, by the way. Like, you should never make any solid life decisions based on me specifically.
Yeah, I know. Like, it's scary when people do.
Oh, no, and it's so much pressure, too. And so, like, we had a house together, and then, like, we lost the house, and then we ended up moving into an apartment, and then she lost her job when we lost the house, and so I was the only one working. And I was like working as many hours as I could, trying to afford like mortgage and a car payment and stuff. And I came home, and there was all kinds of shit she did. Like, she would borrow money from her parents, and there was one time she just spent all the money on like workout equipment because she was like, yeah, I'm getting fat just sitting at home, I'm gonna work out. And I was like, this never works out. You're just gonna sit. You just wasted like $120 we could have spent on groceries on like fucking Nikes and like some dumbbells and like yoga pants. It's like, this is a terrible use of, like, I understand like when you don't have a lot of money, it sucks because you want to do shit that's fun, and then like sometimes you get money and you spend it on like frivolous shit because you're like, I'm gonna have like, I'm gonna do tomorrow, like I'm probably gonna see some frivolous shit and just buy it. Yeah, because it's Chicago. You gotta have fun in Chicago. Yeah. And so I was just stressed out all the time. I was drinking a lot. I was just doing all this crazy shit to like support somebody basically while they were just sitting on the couch doing nothing all day. And I came home, and she was just wandering around in a bathrobe around the apartment complex. And she had like some weird psychotic break from being in the house all the time. And like, I like picked her up and she's like, I just want to go back home. I don't have any friends here. And like, she made this whole thing where like, she wanted me to come back home with her and like be there with her family. And I'm like, look, you're the one who decided to give up everything and come here. I never asked you to do that. Like, I never wanted you to do that. And that was the beginning of the end of it anyway. And so it's like, man, there's just like some and I liked it all. That was like my first major girlfriend too. So I did all kinds of crazy shit. I was like stealing shit for money so I could like
I was doing all this romantic shit, like stealing shit for
no,
money.
I was like stealing shit for money so I could like just drive and go see her and stuff and just like be with her all the time. She was like my first girlfriend, like first like everything too, like just everything. And so it's like, you know how
first
it is,
rusty trombone,
right? And so first dirty
bathroom,
Sanchez, in a mobile out in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, it was fantastic.
Yeah, it is true love when you find those. But
God, I got a story I want to
tell. Puppy
her.
love usually turns into a bitch.
It was a bitch. Puppy love turned into a huge bitch. And so it's like, there's sometimes where I think back and it's like, I was in relationships where I didn't know too much. And it's like, I could have done nicer things for those people who were doing nice things for me. The other nice thing I can say I did for a crush is there was a girl I was actually engaged to for a time. And we had a really great relationship at the start. It was really, really good. And her favorite holiday was Easter. And so
weird.
Yeah, weird. But what kind do you think I attract normal women drama? Like, come on, get with the program.
I mean, you never know.
Yeah, you do never know. But her favorite holiday was Easter, and she was like, it's just because like my whole family gets together.
It's just
really
because
nice.
when the Easter bunny moved the rock and Jesus was freed, it just really speaks to me.
You know, you got to find the trail of blood in the grass to go find Jesus on the crucifix. It's a good time.
Beautiful.
And so this was when we were working together actually, and I think it was like a month or two before you started. And so I got her this really nice Easter basket with like pretty much exclusively Reese's eggs, because let's put this on the record, Reese's eggs are the best Reese's you can possibly get.
No,
what's better than the eggs?
I just like the small little ones around Christmas time, the individually mini wrapped ones.
Then you are truly lost, because
the eggs are just, it's too much. I'm not a big candy guy.
Me either, but like
you can
the
get
eggs
the
are so
fucking
good.
cream eggs.
I would rather have.
I love that hot cream in my mouth.
Yeah, see, that's your thing. My thing is just normal peanut butter eggs, like a normal person.
Yeah, you're fucking weird.
But no, I made this really extravagant Easter basket for her, and I took a picture of us, printed it out, and put it in a picture frame that you could record a message with, and left like a really nice voicemail.
Screaming,
just. Which should have been a precursor for the relationship down the line.
And she loved it. So
and then
it was a weird red flag.
The worst fucking thing is when we had our horrible breakup and I moved out. She had the box of like all the shit that I bought for her, like the clothes, the trinkets, everything. And sitting on top of the box was that goddamn picture. And so I literally just took the box and threw it in a dumpster as I was driving by somewhere. And I was like, well, that bridge is burned. See you later.
Nice.
So like I feel like I've done really nice things like that for a girl, because I don't know. I'm like an emotionally damaged person, so it takes a very long time for me to be fully comfortable and like open up with a person. Like I can be open with you to a degree, but like eventually people are like ebb and flow, you know, like there's sometimes where you're going to be really open and sometimes where you're more drawn into yourself and open and drawn into yourself. Yeah. And it's like the more time you spend with me, the more open I'll be with you, and the more open I can be with you, the more like giving I'll be and stuff like that. So until I can be very emotionally giving, I'm like, physical things make people happy, and so I just like spend all my money on like physical stuff for girls, because and I don't do it in like a look at all the money I have way. I do it in like I'm emotionally damaged and can't always reciprocate emotions. Take this in place of an emotion. Yeah. Have a nice
good old fashioned.
Have a nice dinner instead of any emotion, because when I was raised up, my mom may not have known how to love us perfectly, but she could make a damn good pie.
Yep, there you go.
So if you can't love people properly, just give them food, and everything will work out in the end.
Beautiful.
How about you big Casanova? What's the
holy shit.
What is the most you've ever done for a crush?
Same boat. I can't think of anything I've done for a crush.
Right, because it's like to me,
I feel like as a like small kid, when I like had crush on girls, I'd probably be like, "Here's a flower," and then they were like, "Get the fuck away from me." And that's why I'm an emotionally damaged person.
To me, it's like for a crush, it's like I would rather people be attracted to me just for what I have to offer right off the bat, as opposed to me doing something fantastic for them and being like, go out with me. Look at this great thing I did.
And I feel like that's there's so many examples of like being a cringy, corny dude where you're like, I got you all these things because I'm in love with you. And I don't think it works well.
No.
So, and I can't stand investing time and money and effort into things not knowing
Right,
So
like,
yeah,
I
like,
like
just
being-
because I like you and I do some things for you, and then it turns out, then I'm just gonna be more heartbroken when you think I'm ugly and weird.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because like my thing is like if you emotionally invest in people, so as much as you invest, that's how as deep as you invest, that's as deep as you're gonna get hurt when something goes wrong. And so it's like I've learned my lesson where it's like you take your time gradually to get very emotionally invested with a person, because it's like then because okay, that the girl I was telling the story about, the first one where she was walking around, we were together for 4 years. And so like when you're with someone for 4 years, you get very. Are we even keeping track of this episode? There were so many of the last
you
one.
should have got the last
if
one.
you
yeah.
catch 5 this episode, just
You're gonna catch 5 hands.
yeah, you'll catch 5
That's
hands.
us and one person, one hand on one other person.
Shout out Matt's fist is
just
just gonna
jumps in.
fly
Yeah.
out of nowhere in that business suit.
But yeah, I also, a lot of my relationships I've kind of like stumbled into per se. Like I
I actually had somebody ask me recently. They were like, "What was like a really good date you took a girl out on?" And I had to think about it.
Yeah.
I've never taken a girl out on a date.
I don't think
Ever.
I really have either.
And I don't
until,
mean that in like a bad
afterwards.
etiquette way, because like I know like it's polite to like take a girl out the first time. And
The first real girlfriend I had, we worked together, and she for some reason was into me because I was very sarcastic. This is how it works: is I like sarcastic and don't think anything of it.
And then-
they're like,
and then you
he's
get-
so dreamy and shitty, but
then
jokingly.
and then you get with them and they're like, "Oh, he won't be sarcastic to me." And
Yeah.
it's like, wrong. There's no
Or
filter.
like, yeah, I always think like, ladies, you think this is fun up front, but this gets old real quick. Because sometimes I'm sitting around being loud and obnoxious, and I'm like, how
you're
do I
sick of
have
yourself.
friends or anything that cares about me?
Oh, no,
'Cause
man.
I am ridiculous.
When 3 a.m. hits and I start thinking about all the shit I did during the day, I'm like, it's
Yeah.
incredible that people look me in the face and like enjoy seeing me
know.
every day.
And so yeah,
They don't.
Like my first major girlfriend, I like tried to take her on a date because we worked together and we had a day off work, like that it was closed. So I was like, yeah, come with my sister and her boyfriend at the time, and we went to Perkins, and I tried to buy her food, and she didn't eat. She got a Sprite, so I'm just eating biscuits and gravy real sloppily. And then she came back to my
got a story
sister
for this.
was in college, and like we went back to her dorm, and very very specific. The game One Blood remix with like 20 artists had just come
Wow,
out.
yeah.
So instead of spending any time with this girl, I proceeded to listen to like a 15-minute remix of One Blood. Do, 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 do. And completely ignored her, and then asked her if she would be my girlfriend, and she said yeah for some reason, and then ruined my life for 3 years.
Yeah, there was the girl I was engaged to. The first time we like hung out and did anything, we went and got Starbucks and talked for a couple hours, and then we went to Applebee's. And I personally think it's odd when someone won't eat in front of you when you first hang out with them, because it's like if you're gonna be with somebody, you're gonna. I don't feel like eating is one of those tiers you have to get to, because like
Well, I have a counterpoint on this. Sometimes when I eat now, I'll think like, would this be a good first date, or even like early date dinner? And I'm like eating like spaghetti and like being very not
Right.
classy. So I'm always like, if you're gonna take a girl out, here's a nice Dapper Dad tip. Think about the food choices before you get there.
Right.
Because you don't want to be deep into some baby back ribs covered in sauce. Like, so where'd you grow up at?
Right.
Like, I eat a lot of gross food, and I'm like, this wouldn't work if I was trying to impress the person across from me.
Right.
I eat with people I'm comfortable around.
Yeah.
But I definitely see, like, not wanting to eat because
it
gets messy.
I see now if okay, if you're a person who inherently just eats messy foods, it's something to be conscious of. But
I'm
like,
constantly covered in sauce.
see, no, I can agree with that, because if it's not covered in hot sauce, I won't eat it.
I mean, hot sauce, marinara sauce,
Man, I found
every sauce.
I found out the seasoning they use at Noodles and Company. It's called like
Fuck Noodles and Company.
yeah,
a hot one.
I mean, I'll say
Spend a minute.
I'll say fuck Noodles and Company just because it's like I ate there and it's like I paid like 20
so much money for nothing.
$25 for 2 bowls
Fuck
of pasta
Panera,
with some
too.
Man, same shit. It's like, and it's all frozen.
Fuck
like,
your little bullshit foods for $15.
Here's the thing. If
Daddy needs to eat.
Here's the thing. There is like restaurants I can go to. I can go to any good authentic Mexican restaurant and get a burrito as big as my forearm for like $8 and
Yeah.
it's going to feed me for 2 days.
Yeah.
I go to Noodles and Company, I spend $25 on
I'm
2 bowls
hungry.
of noodles and 3 pieces of garlic bread, and I am starving
I know.
afterwards.
It's a fucking joke.
But I like a lot of hot sauce on my food. I like a lot of hot seasoning on my food. So I can understand where like it'd be awful to eat around me, because I like my food so hot that like I start like and like start tearing
your
and stuff.
pants.
Yeah, I start pissing and shitting everywhere. I'm terrible to take out to
This
eat.
is a nice first date.
Man, wait till we're in the city tomorrow when we check out that
Jesus
Mexican place. I'm gonna
Christ.
ruin your image and your life.
But yeah, I was gonna say the same thing with you. I feel like when people look at me and think about me in a relationship, they probably think I'm like kind of shitty,
Right.
or whatever. I don't put like a lot out there. I am a heartthrob in a relationship.
Oh, no, absolutely.
The nicest shit I've ever done was a Valentine's Day, and I lied and said I had to work on Valentine's Day, and then I coordinated with her roommate to be in her house when she got home from
Look
work.
at you.
Rose petals on the floor.
Oh man.
I made stuffed shells,
Wow.
candlelit.
You made food.
I made food, and I
Wow.
cannot cook. That's
Yeah,
one of the
that's what
few
I'm
things.
saying.
My mom made that so much as a kid, and it's one of my favorite meals. So I was like, Mom, how do I make this? And I spent all day in her apartment, like figuring it out and making it. I had like some fucking like wine or what was it? It wasn't even wine. It was like cheap champagne that I put in the freezer because I wanted it to be cold, and I thought liquor didn't freeze, but it froze.
It freezes.
Like fucking bouquet of flowers,
Man.
music, real nice. And I heard the garage door open. I stood there, and she walked in and was speechless.
This is like a whole nother side of you. This is crazy.
That's what all the time I'm like, yeah, I bet people wouldn't picture me like I'm
Not
like
at
very
all.
like nice and cuddly and loving in a relationship. I just wear this hard exterior so no one fucks with me in
Right,
the real
exactly.
world. Like I'll do shit and I'll be like, damn, if any of my boys were around, they'd be like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? Because even like if I'm like in a relationship and I'm with a girl in front of like people I know, I think I'm still the same person. I'm the same person either way, but behind closed doors,
I'm not.
like,
I'm a different
let's
person
cuddle
with
up
every
and
human
like
being.
watch a movie, and I'll rub your back and play with your hair and finger you a little under the comforter.
I mean, yeah, that's where it
Real
all
nice
leads there.
shit.
Start with the head massage, work your way to the shoulders, lower,
Yeah.
lower, too low, lower.
Yeah. So yeah, I like go all out, but that's what I mean. Once I can tell like we're dating and like I'm ready to put forth all the effort and I really fuck with you and there's no second guessing.
Right.
Like, bitch, get ready because I'm gonna love you.
That guy with the gun. Y'all better be drinking enough fucking water and having a fantastic day.
Yeah.
I love you, bitch.
Yeah. Text back faster, bitch. I'm trying to fall in
Text
love
me
with
back
you,
when you get home. I'm trying to make sure you safe out here on these streets.
bitch. But yeah, so we're like we're big cuddle bears.
We
but
really are, honest
I
to
will
God.
beat the fuck out of you if you think I'm. That's what I always think. Is like I don't want no one seeing me do this soft shit. 'Cause
Oh,
I
no.
will rock.
Here's the thing. If
your face off of your fucking face.
If I care about you, I'm with you. I will give you all the love and support in the entire world. I'm not always the best communicator, and I can admit that about myself. And sometimes it does make things hard because I'm the type of person who inherently, even if there's like when there's something wrong, I want to be that person that's like there. I want to give the advice. I want to listen. I want to cuddle. I want to make you food. Like I want to do all that shit. But like usually it's my fault those situations are happening because I can't communicate for shit. And so like it's a very big conflict for me because it's like I want to fix this and I want to cuddle you and I want to make this better, but you're really pissed off at me and you're screaming in my face. And girls do not like it when you're 60 feet tall and you just grab them and hold them in the hopes that they'll just stop, like calm down.
Just stop.
They don't like it.
It's like shaking a baby.
No, you can't shake the baby. You got to take the baby.
Take the baby.
Take the baby.
So yeah, I feel like our answers we don't necessarily have.
We don't have a specific answer, but really we're.
I
suppose
think
to
you
round it
learned
up-
about us.
You learned a little bit
us.
about us. If the Dapper Dads had to give some advice on dating, it would be really just take your time, invest in a person. Because
make sure you want to date them. Don't just jump.
Don't just jump into things.
relationships.
There was one girl I dated. I jumped into it so fast. It was right after the girl I was engaged to, and
the old rebound.
Well, this girl and I, we actually are on really good terms now. We can like talk and we're friendly and stuff.
It's nice. I hate all of my exes, and I hope everything bad happens to them and only them.
I don't hate anybody, but I definitely have some exes I don't ever want to see again or like talk to again.
Yeah.
But I wish them well. Like I don't hate them.
I don't.
I mean, there's some,
I don't wish your exes well. That's how petty I am.
There's one specific, because for me, it's like I can understand when people do things out of circumstance. So like I can understand that I've done some shitty things. So if someone does shitty things back to me, I understand. There's one ex I have who can go fuck herself severely forever. I don't hate you, but I really hope every day you wake up and every fucking thing that can goes wrong for you.
I'm still shitting in bags and putting it on my ex's porches.
Oh, I'm doing lots of things in bags and leaving them on porches. I don't limit myself. Whatever goes into the bag goes into the bag. If you would
like a bucket.
If you would like your Dapper Dad's mystery bag / bucket, call 402-7-DAPPER with your full government name and address,
Yes.
and we will drop off a bucket of whatever we
we
decide
feel like.
at your house. Could it be fluids? Could it be candy? There's no way to know.
Could it be both?
It could be both. It could be
It
candy.
could be
and
candy I
fluid.
puked up.
It could be candy still wrapped up but in fluids, so you have to pick which candy is safe to eat.
Perfect.
Lovely. So I suppose to come back around, we're actually very, very sweet guys.
Yeah.
Once you get to know us like that, but don't fuck with us on the streets, because so help me God,
Yeah.
we will stomp you
I'm
down.
itching to break a nose. Or
I
rip
am-
an ear off.
Man, okay, here's the
We'll
thing.
rip your
You've been on this
fucking
ear
ear
ripping
off.
off thing
I know,
for,
I don't want to
like,
get into it, but I will
14
do it.
episodes. We're not even on
Yeah, I
14
know.
yet.
Those 3 that we can't,
I can tell.
we can't put out
I
because
can
we
tell-
said all the things.
I can tell a month from now you're still going to be like, man, I wish I could rip somebody's fucking ear off.
I feel like it's been years. I don't want to.
I feel like we're gonna get the chance tomorrow in the city.
Oh, God.
Come like 11:30 tomorrow in the city. We're like, we got to get to the train station. You're gonna be like, there's a bum. Here's $300. Can I try to rip your ear off?
God, the best part of that story is I have $300.
I know, right?
How nice would that be?
Man, if I had $300 going into the city tomorrow, catch me just buying people rounds.
Catch me just buying people. All right, so yeah, definitely submit things. I feel like we do at least get into
Was
a
that the
topic
end of
based
submissions?
off of it. Yeah, that's all we got.
Okay.
You had one that was a verbal submission.
Right?
You
Yeah,
wanna
I had
touch on
someone
that?
suggest.
We
this.
like to get heavy towards the end. So
yeah,
let's-
usually
let's throw this
it's all
bitch out
dick
there.
it's all dick
This
shit
will
tits
also-
and, it's
this-
dick shit tits and come up until like an hour and a half into the show, and then we're like, well, let's get into some deeper topics here. We're gonna get into the human psyche and talk about is evil something you are? Is it something you do?
Yeah, nature versus nurture.
So something I had,
And this will help not let this go off on a tangent because we don't have a ton of time. So this will keep us
right,
grounded.
yeah.
With
So
this one.
what this person wanted, they asked if we would talk about conspiracy theories, at which point I explained to them that is so broad of a topic we could probably do about 3 episodes worth on it.
Yeah, at least.
And I'm not trying to paint myself in a bad light here with the crazy shit I see on the internet. Now, to preface this, there is a psychological reason as to why people do believe conspiracy theories. And psychologically, it's 2 different things. One, it's
Well, yeah, you should bring up the topic because I don't think we.
so
explained.
the topic is conspiracy theories, and what they, as I told them, they needed to like it needs to be
Get
minimized.
specific, yeah.
So the topic we're going to discuss is what is our favorite conspiracy theory, which is
like ridiculous.
like our most ridiculous. Like, what is the one where we're just like, God damn, that's crazy. And then the other one is the one that we find most believable.
Yeah.
So I would So what would you say?
9/11.
Oh, God damn it! I did
No, I'm
not want to
fucking
do
kidding.
this. Okay. So what would you say? Okay. So just to preface it first, I want to say that psychologically, the reason conspiracy theories pick up ground is, one, it gives people a sense that they have knowledge that is somehow secret.
Yeah.
And everybody has that. Always has that bug in the back of their brain where they want to know that what they think and what they does matter. And that people don't like being left in the dark. People like being in the know. So sometimes by being told this is a theory, this is a conspiracy, because automatically when you hear conspiracy, you think shady, dark,
Yeah.
And so the idea that something is being covered up and that there's things that aren't the way they are, sometimes that just makes more sense for people.
Yeah.
And that's not to say that there aren't some theories out there that have grains of truth to them, because sometimes that's where
I'd
conspiracy
say
comes from.
A lot of conspiracy theories, there's usually a point where I'm like, yeah, I could see that, and then it just goes off
goes
the fucking
haywire.
rails, and I'm like, okay, we had something, and now.
And so what happens is when you give people this, and I know I joke about forbidden knowledge all the time, but this is
what I was gonna say.
this is something where it's like people feel that they belong to something greater now. And what the best example of it, which is I think one of the most crazy fucking theories out there, is that the earth is flat.
Okay, yeah, that was one of my 2.
Yeah, mine is 2, because the other one isn't exactly a specific conspiracy theory, but it's the crazy theory. And by the crazy theory, I mean there is several Facebook pages I like and like articles I read, not necessarily out of like I believe this is the shit that's going on, but more out of entertainment, because like there's one
I listen to a ton of podcasts that touch on these.
There's
type of
one
things.
that was like 8 immortal lords ruled the earth for 28,000 years.
And that's what I was gonna say with like the craziest one.
Right.
Is there's things out there, if you like really look or listen to things, there's ones we haven't even heard of that are just absolutely, there's
Like
one I just heard
batshit
of where it's
insane.
like everyone's a clone, and it's like it's one person who is out of their mind for one reason or another, and they're just really like throwing shit out there. So yeah, I agree with
There was like
the Earth being flat, but there's ones out there that are just
far crazy.
way more like that. The fact that fucking Katy Perry is John Benet Ramsey.
Yeah.
That's the type of shit where you're just like,
How can you even-
what in the
'cause,
fuck?
like, okay.
And the John Benet Ramsey one is like, also it's because of the pedophile ring in the government, and her dad knew
Right,
too
and it's
much,
like-
and that's why the daughter had to die, and that's why the cops fumbled with everything and fucked up that crime scene beyond
and
belief.
and that's the shit I cannot stand.
Yeah,
Because
and that's
there-
what sucks is there's things like that, like they botched that whole fucking like investigation.
Well, and they did, and so for
there's
that
so
reason,
much shit that's wrong that people are like, well, clearly all these insane things, and people are like, well, there's so much truth in the fact that that's how like good conspiracy theories work. Like
There's
I
a
said,
lot of truth
there's
to it, but it's
and
the
things
truth
you
that
can
gets
believe,
twisted.
and then it just goes crazy, and you're like, well, now I don't know what the fuck you're
right.
talking about.
So like, there's like one of the there's a theory out there called like the Turkish shark theory, which is that Turkey unleashed a bunch of like rabid wild sharks into Israel to
Yeah.
attack people on a beach, and it's like, where do you even begin to pick up
I know.
traction with
That's
this kind
what
of
I mean. This is why you can't talk on
there's
this
like
for too
there's
long,
like
'cause it's
one
like-
there's one I read one time about a mountain out in California, and they're like, secret government base located inside the mountain, 17
Oh, yeah.
confirmed alien species
Yeah.
talking outside, also sightings of Bigfoot in the area. It's
Yeah.
like, okay,
it's like everything.
like
everything
yeah, the
is
ones where it's like
happening.
everything
Yeah.
that's the alien ones I either find semi-credible or completely outlandish, because
Yeah.
I will not go on record saying that we are alone in the universe, because I don't believe that we are.
No.
And I mean, I don't necessarily think that aliens are little gray men in suits who show up. They could be microscopic organisms living
Yeah,
deep
and that's
in-
why this can prosper so much, is because it could be anything, because we don't know. It's the same thing with like religions and like heaven and hell and all those
Right,
stuff,
yeah.
because you'll never know the answer most likely. So it can just get so grandiose that you can believe it because you don't. There's no fucking
There's no way
to
of
know.
knowing,
So
yeah.
why not just like fucking make a whole big extravagant show of nonsense?
Well, and that's where I stand with like the flat Earth thing, because the flat Earth is just so ridiculous.
Well, I hate the flat Earth. That should be just like.
it's common sense.
Yeah, it
It's
makes me
common
so angry
sense.
because it's such a stupid thing. The one
And you have respectable people who throw themselves behind it. Who, like B.O.B. throws himself
Yeah.
behind it. He like wrote a rap about
I
the
know.
flat Earth and
Which,
stuff.
fuck
It's like man,
B.O.B..
fuck B.O.B. Like, can't you come up with something more credible than a flat Earth
yeah,
rap?
you're just losing your mind and going crazy. The other one that I always tie into the flat Earth is the conspiracy theory that the Earth is hollow. And there's things inside of it, such as Nazis
And dinosaurs.
or just a
17 races of people who are ready to
it's a
reveal
whole
themselves to the outer
and the
Earth.
guy just flew the plane, and it's like in fucking Grand Theft Auto where you can fly into the one mountain and you're in a cave, and
Right,
it's neat.
yeah.
And that you think that's real, and you fly into the cave, and there's a whole another species of people, and they're also Nazis, and they're plotting against us from
Right.
the inside, and they've lived there the whole time the Earth has been around.
Yeah, there's one that I read where it was like the council of people who live in the inner Earth have been having secret meetings with the outer Earth, and they're ready to reveal themselves and their agenda
Yeah.
to save the planet and stuff. And it's like what? Like, where do you read that and believe it? You know, because like I can definitely see theories where it's like the other thing that pisses me off about conspiracy theories is when they're just flat out disrespectful, like the John Benet Ramsey
Yeah.
thing. Like, obviously that case was tampered with. It was messed up and it was done wrong. That doesn't mean that there was like some crazy Illuminati sex ring thing going on. The one that goes around that pisses me off the most is when there's like shootings, like the one we just had in Las
Sandy
Vegas,
Hook
or
and
like
stuff.
Sandy Hook, and they talk about that girl that's supposedly at everyone is like
Yeah.
the crisis actor.
Yeah.
Like, if you believe that, go fuck yourself. Because what pisses me off about it is that these are human lives that we're talking about. Like, when you're talking about shit like the Earth is flat, there's dinosaur Nazis inside the Earth. That doesn't hurt anyone.
Yeah.
But can you imagine being somebody who like lost someone in that? Because
Yeah.
like the theory I heard about the Vegas shooting is that it was an Illuminati sacrifice in front of that big
Yeah,
pyramid.
they say every year
There's like a shooting that's an
shit.
Illuminati
and that's
sacrifice.
the thing, and one of the things that gives that too much power is they always say like when those things happen, then the government will like pass a bill or do some shady shit, and that's like the false flag for what they're doing, so you
Right,
don't pay
yeah.
attention to it. And it's like, yeah, those things do happen. They do pass laws and do sneaky shit. Do you think that it's not something they set up, but they're like, oh, while everyone's looking, we can still do this? That doesn't mean that they fabricated
like that's my
event.
thing. I don't think these things are fabricated by the government, but I think in some instances the government knows things and they don't talk about it for like public safety reasons.
Yeah.
Like the government had knowledge about 9/11 before it happened.
There's so much shit.
Like you
about
can't
that.
sit there and be like, the Bilderbergs conspired with everybody else to have the money and all this other.
And again, if it is all fucking true, when are we going to get that knowledge?
If it's
Never.
all, and the other thing is that they go about like, this person died trying to bring us this information. And it's like, give me, my thing is proof behind it. And I get their conspiracy theories. They're not meant to be taken directly, but they're always worded in such a way, they're always presented in such a format that very suggestible people will believe it.
Yeah, because that's how it grows.
And I feel the same way about it, like I do Alex Jones in a way, where it's like,
You love it.
No, if you're presenting information like
Alex Jones.
if you're presenting information like this in a way, it's going to damage people. And
Yeah,
like
you're being harmed.
imagine having a child who was shot in Sandy Hook, or like imagine like your mother or like your girlfriend or your brother, your sister, your auntie, your uncle, anybody like shot in Las Vegas, and then having to go on the fucking internet and seeing people be so disrespectful that they would share an article that says like government cover up, Illuminati, blah blah blah. It's like, how can you take someone who had a whole life, who had loved ones, emotions, experiences, and dilute it down into something like that? You know, to me, like if like my sister or my mom was like killed in an event like that and I saw that, I would find the person that wrote that article, Jay and Silent Bob, go to their house, be like, on September 16th at 4:52, did you post on alien UFOs are real blog.com that you think that this shooting happened because there was too much fluoride in the water and it drove the guy insane and he was getting radio transmission from the Bilderbergs to just kill people, or else they were going to come kill him? Oh, that was you? Great. And then knock their fucking teeth out. Because like, it's just, if it doesn't happen to you, people don't care. Like if it was something that like I can't imagine a single person who lost someone in a tragedy like this and have them be like, no, it was the government, it was the Illuminati. No, like you're like, this was done by a fucking person, and there needs to be something changed so it doesn't happen to other people. You know?
Yeah, that's common sense, and that's what I mean. The people who like fall victim to these things aren't.
They're very suggestible people.
Yeah, and with there's a ton of things like that. This is just one of the more ridiculous ones.
If I had to believe any type of conspiracy theory, I suppose I would believe that there is
Earth is flat.
It's
crazy enough to be true.
No, I believe there is things that the government does cover up in terms of the public being able to handle the knowledge.
Oh yeah,
because like you can't.
Yeah,
because like you
there's so much shit that you just know that the government isn't.
Well, and you can sit there and think to yourself, well, there's certain knowledge I could be able to handle. You know, like if the government came out and like, okay, there is aliens who visit the planet, it would be super shocking. But like, I don't believe that necessarily, but I do believe that there are things like in outer space that we don't know about. There's things that have happened on Earth here that we don't know about. Yeah. And like, that's my thing. Like, why?
Like I have this happen just recently, like a house close to my house. I drove by and there's like ATF, 15 cop cars, some sort of, I assume like raid on a drug house. And then zero things about it anywhere, like in the news or anything. When I was a kid, me and my dad were driving down a street and there was a car pulled over on the side of the road, very residential street, 1 block from my childhood home, and they had machine guns piled on the ground. They had pulled over a guy and his car was filled with machine guns.
And what the fuck was he going to do with them?
And nothing was ever said about that. So even in those small instances, it's like there's things that just aren't put on the news or put out there like that for whatever reason. So the thought of like the government not hiding like much bigger things is stupid, because I've seen things in my life that no one ever talks about and it doesn't affect me or matter. But obviously, like, every police department is hiding secrets. Every government office is hiding secrets. Well, even if they're small or if they're fucking huge.
Right. And it's like, and how many times do you hear about things that have happened in history where they're like, and the government covered this up because they thought people couldn't handle it? You know, like they talk all the time about like Vietnam and World War II, where like they had information that like they didn't want to talk about because people couldn't handle it. And I agree with that to a certain degree. I don't necessarily believe that people need to be censored and coddled. You know, I do believe that sometimes your brain does need nervous tension to grow and accept things as more familiar than they really are. Yeah. And so like some people do need wake up calls into like what is going on around you. Like people need to be more aware of the life around them and the planet that they're on. I don't necessarily think that means that like the government is having secret pedophile meetings with Illuminati, alien Nazis in the basement of a pizza parlor.
Yeah,
the pizza. If you believe in Pizzagate, you're a fucking idiot. Stop listening to my show. Like seriously, like I don't get people who. And it's one of those asinine things where suggestible people hear it and they just stand behind it, you know?
Yeah, when I was like 18 and I found like the shit about the Illuminati, it's very captivating. And there's so much shit on YouTube that you can go down a crazy wormhole. And I did. And there's so many pop culture references. But when you look for things, you'll also find things.
Right.
And that's what people like. There's a lot of coincidences. Sometimes there's so many that it makes it weird.
Yeah.
But that's also how life works. And again, you can look at anything and you can see Bart Simpson holding up a magazine that says 9 and then the 11 is the 2 twin towers.
Right.
And a plane's heading towards
it. If
it.
you're looking for things, you can find them anywhere.
Yeah, the Simpson shit is like insane with all the shit they've done. But it show's
after
been on for
30 odd years. So it's like, how can you think a topical show that pulls from
like,
pop culture references to not...
That's what I mean. You're going to find the things.
Right.
The one that I don't want to say I believe in it because I don't even know what like the basis of it is, but you cannot deny how fucking crazy it is and real is the Denver airport shit. If you've ever looked into that.
No, let's get into it.
Okay, it's a hefty one, and I'll try to be quick for time's sake. The Denver airport is an airport that was built like not that long ago. I don't, of course, have the facts on me, but there's another Denver airport that was used. It handles, I feel like Alex Jones. I'm waving my hands for listeners.
Quite a bit.
I'm sweaty and I'm ready to go.
Damp and angry.
So there was an airport that could handle like all the flights and everything. So they built another one in like the middle of nowhere. In the airport, they commissioned an artist to paint these murals. You can see the murals online. They are very dark and strange, and like people have different breakdowns of it. The one main one is there's a fucking soldier with a gas mask on and a giant sword, and there's all these like women with like dead babies. It's very, very, very strange topic for like a mural in an international airport. And you can see these images online. There's 4 murals, and it basically starts off with something that looks like a like huge genocide, and then at the end there's like a blonde-haired blue-eyed child and a bunch of other kids around them. And there's different theories for that. Some of them are ridiculous. Either way, that's the reason why I am interested in it, is because it does exist and it's fucking weird.
Right.
And you can also read the fucking artist shit where he like can't even remember what he says, but he just has some shit like, I was trying to make a political statement and now it's twisted. And allegedly underneath this airport there's like a 80-mile tunnel,
allegedly,
where like there was workers that were making it and they weren't allowed to speak on what it is. There's like air systems and ventilation in the tunnel and no one knows what it's for. There's a lot of higher up people that own all the property around it. And then the whole like area of the airport has like barbed wire, but the barbed wire is facing in instead of out, as in to keep people in and not out. And then there's like the Mason symbol, and there's like a horse. It's like a pale horse statue, like the pale horse.
And there is something out there with that where you can see like the bull statue in New York and stuff like that. Like there is a lot of like Greco-Roman symbolism
and
that
I
does
think
happen.
Underneath the horse, there's like I can't remember this part ever, but there's some sort of formula on like the statue, which is like they say it's a formula for like some sort of airborne virus that would like just kill everyone instantly. So I don't know, and like I said, there's never any like solid. I think the main like working belief is that the tunnels underneath will be where like people will live after this genocide. So they're going to rebuild America with like the most wealthy, important people, and they'll all go in this tunnel and we'll all get gassed and killed, and then they'll rebuild. It is very interesting to look into. Check it out. Don't get too fucking
like
crazy
don't get into the crazy shit with it. But
I don't believe
it's
like, because I don't know, like I said, I don't know what the goal of it is. It's just it's very real. It's the one thing you can look at and it all exists, and it's, if nothing else, it's weird as fuck.
See, but why would you... Okay, if you had like a big government plan to wipe out a big part of the population, why would you...
be so public about it?
Yeah, that's my thing. Because
I know.
it's like, in my experience, if the government wants you like to shut up about something, they'll make you shut up about something, you know. And to me,
they're gonna shut us down in like 10 minutes.
Well, to me, if people had like accurate information about this stuff, these websites would be blacked out.
Yeah,
these
and
videos would be gone.
I've
you know,
like tried to show people the videos that I've watched about it, and they're gone. They're off YouTube, which is just further adds fuel to the fire of people saying like they're trying to shut it down. Like I said, it is the weirdest one, and it's the only one I like talking about with people because there is things I can point to and say these things exist here.
Right.
And it's fucking weird. Like, if nothing else, look up the mural artwork because it's just fucking strange as shit. I don't know what the goal of it is.
Yeah.
I don't, if we're all gonna,
that's really interesting though.
Yeah,
like, I'm
it's
really
literally
interested.
the most interesting. And I've looked, like I said, I listen to podcasts. I do genuinely enjoy reading it, even if it's just fucking tomfoolery or if there's something that they can stand behind. I think it's all fascinating, if nothing else. This is the one that I'm like very interested in. And I don't like sit around and research it. I've looked it up and that's really all you can do.
Right.
And like I said, I don't know what the goal of it is. I don't really care because if they're going to gas us all and we're all going to die, we're all going to fucking die.
Yeah, like
that's
if they want it to happen, like there's nothing we can do about it.
There's so much conspiracy theories where it's like the event either happened, like 9/11, and it's a very unfortunate tragedy forever, and there's nothing we can do at this point because so many people are dead, and like that's in history, or it's something where like I don't have concrete evidence of what we're expecting to happen, so I'm not going to sit around at night and be like, oh God, what if they gas us all?
Right, yeah.
Because what's going to happen is going to happen. Whatever has happened, has happened. So don't put too much stock into any of these things. But check it out if it's interesting to you, because that's the one that definitely
I'm going to look into it.
sits with
That's
me.
interesting.
Yeah, we'll look at it after this.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we have to go now. There's some men in suits with they have sunglasses on and it's nighttime. Nothing is adding up.
Nothing ever good. Not unless you're Gucci Mane or Rick Ross. Can you wear sunglasses at night and have it be okay?
Or Corey Hart. Is that right?
I have no idea.
All right. TheDapperDads.com. DapperDadsPodcast@gmail.com. 402-7. Oh my God. They have all the... I didn't want...